Yes, it's true. I got a $200 fine for littering, and here's how the story goes. So, in the beginning, we were doing these little flyers, okay? So I want everyone to see what this is, so you understand it. So, this was, there was still snow on the ground and whatnot, and we were getting an early start to our flyer distribution. So in here, you got a couple of rocks for weight to help hold us down. We put a sucker in here so people can just put that in their mouth while they're reading our literature. In this little bag is our landscape flyer, our mosquito police flyer, and our vape store flyer. Okay, so turns out we just started out. We were out just chucking these things by the ends of the driveways, you know, as they go into these properties. And it wasn't on the lawn or anything. It was just right on the end of their driveway there. So everything was going fine. And then I get a call from this police guy, right? And he calls me up, and he's like, "Hey," he says, "What are you guys putting out there?" And I said, "Well, it's pretty transparent because, you know, it is. You could see right through it." And I said, "But if I got to tell you, well, there's some advertising material in there, a couple of rocks and a dum-dum sucker." And he says to me, "Well, what about that vaping stuff?" I said, "What about the vaping stuff? You mean the flyer that's in there for vaping?" "Yeah." He's like, "Well, you're enticing kids with that." I'm like, "What in the fuck are you talking about? I am not enticing any kids with that." And he's like, "Well, I just don't want you doing that around here, and I'm not going to argue with you." Well, we had this big argument about it. It's like, look, man, those kids don't own those properties, okay? I'm marketing to the adults that own those lake houses, okay? And this is up in Vilas County, so I don't care who knows that. But this is where it happened. So, in Wisconsin here. And this guy just decided to go on and on about the vaping thing. He kept bringing that up. And I'm like, "Look, dude, I don't care." I mean, we had an old argument about whether it was better than cigarettes or not. I mean, this just went on and on. And finally, I'm just like, "Look, dude, I don't care what you think. This is not about your opinion, okay? You need to leave me alone. I'm out there doing my marketing for my business, and that's it." So, that's the end of my conversation with this police guy, right? All right. So then, I get called again a while later. Or prior to that even, I got pulled over by a cop. So it was a little while later than that in the day, and all of a sudden I get pulled over by a cop. He asked me what we were doing. Told him what we were doing. He said, "Well, I believe that's against the law." And I said, "I don't believe it's against the law. What am I doing? I'm not out here soliciting. I'm not knocking on their doors and beating the door down. I'm simply putting a flyer at the end of their driveway. And what's the difference if it's there or if it's on their porch or if it's on their door? What's the difference, right?" So anyway, he couldn't tell me the difference. So after a heated discussion with him, he left me alone. Okay, we went back to our route, continued putting out flyers. Then I get a call from the same cop from earlier. And now he's telling me, and he even called my office, you know, the office had referred him to me. And he was complaining about the flyers, and he picked up 80 some flyers and all this stuff. And I was going to get a $200 ticket for littering, and then I was going to get another $200 ticket for throwing something out of a vehicle. Now, it could be a piece of gum, a toothpick, it doesn't matter what it is. There's a $200 fine for that. So he can give me $400 in fines, and he's already got 80 some of my flyers, and he wants to give me a $400 fine for each one he finds, right? So we have this big argument about that. So anyway, I'm shaping this whole thing. I've got some footage coming up. I'll show you guys how I've been shut down on this. But anyway, so the next thing you know, we go about our business. We keep doing what we're doing, and I get a call from the city on our signs. We have these 4x8 signs, and we put them up at different businesses like the local taverns and so on and so forth up there on their property, on private property. And these guys took it upon themselves to call me up and tell me that I couldn't have those on those private properties. And I'm like, it's private property. Yes, I can. You have no right to tell me I can't have it there. They say, yes, we can, and we want them removed. Or again, I'm going to get fined for that. Before the day is out, I get a call from the highway department, which is the county now. Cops are after me, city's after me, and now the county calls up. Same thing. We've got signs out there that are on private property, that are on these bars that are along the highways, and we've got it on their property. Same thing. Have to remove those signs, and we're going to get fined for all of those things. It was just a joke, right? So we're trying to figure out what this is all about. I'm going through this with the office people, and we're just like, where in the hell is all the fire coming from, right? And I have no idea. But anyway, I ended up with $1,600 in citations, okay? When all was said and done, that's what I had gotten in the mail from these people. And I'm like, okay, that's interesting. We couldn't figure out why until we got an anonymous call one day. And it was from an employee of a competitor of ours for the mosquito police thing, which is one of the businesses that we own. And it was a guy from a competitor. I guess I can't say his name. I'll probably get sued for it. But it begins with mosquito and then an A. But so anyway, regardless, this guy apparently is a sheriff's deputy in Vilas County. I'm like, oh, isn't that interesting? Yep, and so apparently he must have been bragging about it or talking shit to somebody about it, and all of a sudden everything made sense. So we're putting two and two together now because you got a public employee there, you got the city, which is public, you got the county, which is public, the highway department, which is public. All those guys work together, and the other cop that pulled me over even, well, why did he pull me over? He didn't just do that for nothing. They were looking for me. They were trying to shut me down with trying to solicit this or get this business, right? And so, okay, I'm okay with that because it's just a bunch of hogwash and it's just the crooked cop type of a thing, right? I mean, he took a personal interest in me to get me shut down in that area up there because that's his area, all right? Now things make sense. Now I understand why I'm not getting this from all the other counties that we work in. Never got grief from any of them, but this one, just this one county. So, you know as well as I do why this is happening, right? All right, so first step was, I'm like, okay, I'm not going to take this shit. So I went to the police department. I asked to see the sheriff, who's the head of the police department. And actually, before I even did that, I asked to speak with the chief of police. He wasn't in. They referred me to the sheriff. So they asked what it was about. I told them what it was about. You'll see video of this.
The captain's not here, but I'd be happy to meet with him.
Okay, sure.
Come on back.
My
You're
son.
going to stay out here.
Why is that?
You're not going to be recording in my office.
Well, stay out here.
Stay out here then.
You want to file an officer complaint?
I do.
Okay, it's going to be taken confidentially in our office.
Why is it taken confidentially? Aren't you a public employee?
Do you want to file a complaint, sir?
Yes, I do.
Come on back and I'll meet with you in my office. No.
Then I'm bringing my camera with me for my safety. I'm filming a documentary on this.
Sorry.
There's no reason I can't do that. You're a public official. This is a public
You
facility.
want to file a complaint about an officer?
Yes, I do.
Then please come on back into my office.
As long as I can bring my camera
No.
with me, I'd like
No.
to.
When you decide
You
you want
wanna
to
do
talk
that?
to me in my office,
Okay.
okay, this is going to be,
I believe it's illegal what you're doing. I don't believe that's right.
okay. Have a good day, sir.
You too. Well, that just goes to show you typical local politics. So, they want to close the doors. They want to have all the closed sessions because they don't want to admit to the crap that they're pulling. So, now I guess we just go to the lawyer with the rest of this. So. There's your answer. Go file a complaint against somebody? Nope, they're not going to allow that to happen. So, especially one of their officers. God forbid you file a complaint against an officer. Well, these guys need to be taught a lesson once in a while too. They work for us. The problem in America with police departments today, some of them, not all of them, but some of them are cops like this guy that's just out who's got a he's got wood for me because he's out just trying to make a name against vaping, and he wants to do this against me. This guy's just going to sit and cover for him. He doesn't want anybody to know about it. He's not going to allow us to come in and film anything because that's his policy. He's an elected official. How is it his policy? It's illegal what he just did right there. Here's what it is. This is the chain of command that you have to follow. The cops need to realize here in America, you work for us. You're here to protect and to serve. You're not here to pick and choose what you want to do. Because this cop chose that he wanted to get on me and harass me for our vaping, okay? And this guy here, he's just sitting here covering it up for him. So he doesn't want to, he's not going to let me file a complaint. He just told me. So now you can't even file a complaint against the officer. What's the next move? Go to the state? Probably. That's where we'll go next, maybe. I'll find out what the next chain of command is. The sheriff shuts me right down. He's like, he's not having it. He's not going to take me in the back and talk about it. I came to file charges against the officer for harassment because that's exactly what he's doing, right? He's doing things he shouldn't be doing. He should be out there serving and protecting people, but instead of that, he's harassing me because I'm competition for his side job, right? So, go to talk to sheriff, he shuts me down. Like, okay, that's interesting. Then, I go to the district attorney. Got paperwork for all these citations, right? So I go down there to try and work it out with her. Got a camera with me? Same thing. This time, DA she doesn't even show up. I drive an hour and a half from where I'm at in Antigo to Eagle River up there, go into there with my meeting that was scheduled with the district attorney, camera in tow. She won't come see me. Well, I wonder why. Probably just like the sheriff, right? So, get done with that. I leave there, not gaining any ground. Then the court date comes up.
Good morning, Mr. Packard.
Good morning.
I think there's 4. Do you have 4?
There's like 8 of them here.
Okay, well, any that aren't yet processed, were they all given the same return date? Can you just show them to the clerk for 1 second? We'll make sure we take care of everything this morning, please.
That'd be awesome.
So you want to put the camera down?
Yes, sir.
Want to put that away, please?
Judge makes us shut the camera off as well, okay? So they knew all along, I'm sure that judge knew before I even walked in there what was coming. Because the police department, I'm sure, let everybody know. The DA, I'm sure, let them know. And then the judge. So everybody knew. So regardless, the next thing you know, I get a plea deal sent to me in the mail, right? And it's from the district attorney, okay? And at this point, it's decision time. She offers me $200 to take a $200 littering fine. She's like, I have to give you something. This is what it is. This is the best I can do. So then I'm thinking to myself, and I know what you guys are going to say. You should just stick right with it and stay hammering them. Well, this is an ongoing thing, right? So, but I have to make a decision on this because I either take that, and I told them, I said, I will go to a 12-man jury with this thing. I will fight you guys with this. That was my argument. I'm not paying $1,600 in fines because that's what you want to hand out to me. I'll take it in front of a 12-man jury and I'll make fools out of you guys. And that's what the only conversation that I could have with the DA, which was over the phone. And shortly after that, she came back with this $200 plea deal, right? So then you got to look at it, and you got to be smart at some point, okay? And it's like, okay, I'm going to pay a lawyer 10 grand to come and defend me and try and embarrass this police department. And at the end of the day, they all work together anyway. They could just side with them just because they do all work together, the crooked. So anyway, I'm like, all right, what's my option? The only other option I had was to take the plea deal. $200, everything goes away. They're off my back, and I'm going right back to what I was doing. which is what I did. Finished out the year. I didn't hear any more about this. Okay, so you'll see stuff in this video about that. It's a pretty sad day when you got to admit to something that petty, that you have to admit to anything that you did wrong just to get the monkey off your back, just because some cops got a boner for you, right? So that being said, the harassment thing with the cop, that's still coming. So I am not by any shape or form going to take any heat this year. This is round one, working up in this area. So stay tuned for round two, because we're going to start doing flyers again next week. We'll see how things roll out. Wish me luck.